Well, hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're talking to you guys, obviously, quickly about Marshall. And, he found himself in another relationship after Jackelina left him. If you have been paying attention to Love is Blind, you know very well that this storyline has been one of the biggest ever in the history of Love is Blind. Jackelina has become the biggest villain, I think, of the show entire history. And we can't wait for the reunion later on this week. But we're talking about Marshall. Apparently, Marshall found himself in a place where he was, he's been, has found himself in a new relationship. He's no longer with Jackelina, of course, we know that, but he found himself shortly and briefly in a relationship with another cast member, someone that we didn't get to really see on the show. I'm gonna put this up to you guys so you can actually see who that person was. So stick around, pay attention, get involved, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because squeeze out there hot. All right, cool. Let's get into this. There was a thing by Cosmopolitan, and they put up a little post. Let's have a little conversation around it as well. So let's get this up on the screen. All right. So, Love is Blind, Marshall dated another cast member after Jackie breakup. Ooh. Says here, Love is Blind's Marshall Glaze has revealed he dated a fellow cast member from season 4 after his breakup with Jackie Bonds. Speaking to E! News, Marshall explained he reached out to another cast member after his split with Jackie and the pair dated for a while. So, who was this mystery woman? Well, it turns out it was Kasha. You know me, I kill people's names, so it's probably not Kasha, it might be Keisha, but who knows. Remember her? She was a super sweet 31-year-old family support specialist who sadly didn't get much airtime. So how do you expect me to remember her? Cute toes, though. Whilst we didn't get to see Marshall and Kasha connect much in the pods, this could be down to what made the final edit cut, as clearly a connection was formed between the two. Marshall said, I actually reached out to Kasha. We tried. What do you mean he tried? He added that things became difficult as their relationship was too closely connected with the Love is Blind experience, making things tricky, and the relationship didn't end well. Marshall said, I wanted to just distance myself from all of that, from that experience. I was going to be difficult to try and make a relationship with Keisha. It was going to be difficult to try to make a relationship with Kasha. Still to this day, I'm apologetic about starting something and getting her hopes up with me going back in my shell. Like this isn't really the time or the place. In most recent Love is Blind episodes, which dropped last week, 7th of April, we saw Jackie and Marshall end their relationship, with Jackie confessing her feelings for fellow cast member Josh. And during that rather awkward breakup conversation, Jackie revealed that whilst her feelings for Marshall were real in the pods, she became emotionally drained when they took their relationship into a real world. Now, Jackie also said she couldn't love Marshall because of her feelings towards Josh, and told Marshall she had recently seen Josh and they had confessed their feelings to each other. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Marshall said he was her and that he wanted the ring he proposed to Jackie with. However, Jackie said she wanted to keep the ring. The pair then moved their stuff out the apartment and left the show. Here's hoping that things aren't too awkward between the pair at the live reunion on the 16th of April. Now, I want to focus on something really interesting here when it comes to this conversation with Marshall seemingly, dating Kasha as well. I think what was interesting is he says, whilst we didn't see Marshall and Kasha connect, no, sorry, let me go before this. No, it's not there. Here it is. There we go. Yes. So he said, I reached out to Kasha. We tried. Okay, first and foremost, Marshall reached out. You weren't fully healed. Like, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, I think Jackie's an absolute problem, villain. But Marshall needs to start getting to a space where he starts actually being real about his emotions and how his actual emotions actually begin to rule him and make decisions for him. Because if you're not fully, you weren't fully ready. You weren't fully healed. Okay, things became difficult as the relationship was too closely connected with Love is Blind experience, making things tricky, and the relationship didn't end well. Okay, so it didn't even end well. So things weren't great. Like because obviously if things are tricky, it could have ended well, but it weren't, you know what I mean? But when you say it didn't end well, it means things weren't great. There were other issues aside it being closely tied to the Love is Blind experience. There were things that maybe were happening. Maybe she was cool with Jackie, we don't know, but clearly she wasn't that cool because she obviously accepted your proposal to date. So it's not that issue. Something obviously has gone wrong here as well. Marshall said, I just wanted to distance myself from all of that. From that experience, it was going to be difficult to try and make a relationship with Kasia. So at a point, it got to a point where he just wants to remove himself from everything Love is Blind. But sir, why are we taking decisions to date people when we know that is a path we don't want to be on? Now, of course, someone might say, you know, you grow, you evolve, and you learn as you go on. But again, it speaks of somebody who's not counting the cost before they start, right? He says, still to this day, I'm apologetic about starting something and getting her hopes up with me going back in my shell like that. This isn't really the time or the place. What really happened? We can speculate all day, but for me, like I said, I do believe that with Marshall, he just needs to regulate his emotions better, because some of the things that Jackie was saying about being more aggressive was more really about being more assertive in what you actually want. He kept on asking Jackie what she wanted. No, sir, what do you want? Stop trying to please her. What do you want? What do you need from her? What do you need from her? Let her know. Yeah? Anyway, listen, we're going to keep it nice and short. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification on uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. We'll see you again soon.